Hi, welcome. It's Megan here. In this class, our peak pose is going to be splits, so don't freak out. I promise we will warm up a lot before we get there, and you always have options. So it'll be a lot of fun. I do recommend grabbing a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, maybe some books or really anything else that can help bring the floor up to you. We're just going to be using them to connect our hands to, so that they won't need to be too mobile. They'll mainly be at the top of the mat on either side. So just something to think about. Pause this if you need. Go grab blocks or something else and come back when you're ready. Once you have your props, we'll begin seated today with a meditation centered around our heart. So go ahead and get comfortable. You can always sit on the block if you want to lift hips a little, sit on a blanket. You can lie back if you want. That's always an option. Get comfortable, and then your eyes can close or your gaze might soften. Hands are on the knees, palms up or palms down. Palms down is very grounding. Palms up for receiving, depending on what you're feeling like today. From here, we're bringing focus to the base of the spine. On an inhale, feel or visualize energy spiraling up the spine to the crown of your head. Feeling yourself get taller. On the exhale, this energy spirals down. We keep the length. As the energy spirals down, we inhale, energy spiraling up. Exhale, back down. You might visualize this as a white light, balancing our energy centers, balancing our spine. Energizing the energy centers and energizing the spine. A few more breaths just like this. And after your next inhale to the crown of your head, your focus and your breath coming right to the heart center, the space behind your breastbone. We're breathing into this fourth chakra, our fourth energy center. It is our space of love and compassion. We feel it energize here with our breath. If you like to visualize, you might be picturing the color green swirling around here. Feeling it become more active. If you want, on an inhale, feel this space expand. On the exhale, we keep the space. It gets stronger. So inhale, this space of love and compassion grows. The exhale, it just gets stronger. We're creating more space here for more love, more compassion, knowing that this can get as big as you want. You can take this outside of your body. You can grow your heart space however big you want it to be, whatever is most comfortable. You might be feeling it really close to you today, and that is fine. Or you might be feeling like expanding out, sharing it. And that's beautiful too. Strengthening this muscle by focusing on it. And for our last couple of breaths, wherever we've taken this, bring it right back to your heart center, right back to you. And then from this space, allow an intention for class to come to mind. For this time for you, maybe you ask yourself how you want to feel at the end. Or maybe you bring to mind something you're focusing on in your life. It's a heart's desire coming from our center of compassion, of love, of acceptance. Knowing the world needs your desire, you have permission to follow it. We'll take a full inhale here. and let it go for now. You might still feel this tingling around the heart. Enjoy that. Maybe coming back to it during class today. When you're ready, eyes begin to gently flutter open. And we'll begin the physical part of our practice today, actually getting into the core. So finding yourself sitting on your sit bones on your mat. We'll go ahead and start by grabbing behind the knees, pulling belly into spine, creating a nice round here, shifting weight back. From here, we might take the hands behind us for support and lift the legs. If this feels all right and you want to bring the arms up, feel free. Feeling this nice core engagement here. We're going to keep our upper body exactly where it is. On the inhale, lower heels to the floor. And exhale, we bring the knees up, legs up. 6 more. Nice. 5. If at any time hands want to come behind, that's beautiful. We have 4. Nice. 3. Good. 2. And 1. We lower our feet here to the floor, take hands behind, keeping a bend in the elbows, pay attention to shoulders. We're going to lift the hips up however is comfortable in our shoulders. We're releasing the core and the hip flexors here. Taking a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, we'll slowly lower hips down here. Feeling the connection to the floor. We once again grab behind the knees, pulling belly in, creating that nice scoop here. If this ever bothers your tailbone, you can always roll your mat to create a shelf or put a blanket back here to create a little bit more support. We're going to lift the legs. Again, hands can come behind. This time we'll flex the feet. Keeping upper body exactly where it is, we're going to inhale, lower heels. And exhale, bring them up. 6 more. Nice. And building some heat around our core. Feeling this connection. Nice. 3 more. 2. Last one. Inhale down. Exhale up. Lowering feet, find that reverse tabletop. However height feels okay on the shoulders, on the elbows, on the hips. Releasing hip flexors here, very nice. Lowering hips to the floor, we're going to find ourselves in a tabletop. We'll come forward here. So we take time to stack our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees. Feeling the tops of the feet press into the floor. Go ahead and find your cat-cows here. On the inhale, we arch and look up. On the exhale, press into the floor and round. Inhale as we expand, extend the core. Exhale, we round, pull belly into spine. A couple more here. Your breath, your time. Neutral belly. Bringing left hand a little closer to center. We're going to inhale the right arm up. Finding some circles here for the shoulder, whatever direction feels right. Knocking over props if you want. So maybe to the back, maybe a couple ways, one direction and then switching direction. Just finding some lubrication of the joint here. When you're ready, we'll inhale, twist open. Needling right arm underneath of left. We'll take right shoulder on the mat, your head on the mat. Left fingertips might walk toward the top of the mat, maybe over to the right. So we open up back of the shoulder, a little twist. When you're ready, left hand coming into chest, we'll inhale, twist open one more time. Lowering right hand to the floor. Let's take a cat-cow to release. Neutral spine. Right fingertips, right hand, more toward the center in front of the face. We'll inhale the left arm up. Go ahead and find those circles, whatever direction feels really good for you. Again, you might switch it halfway through. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, twist open with left fingertips heading toward the ceiling. Needling through the right arm, take shoulder on your mat, head on your mat. Right fingertips walking to the top of the mat. Maybe over to the left. We're bringing right hand into the chest here. We'll twist open one more time. Lowering to your tabletop. Go ahead and bring your big toes together here as we sit back into the heels, finding your child's pose for a couple of breaths. Using this to extend the lats as we reach fingertips toward the front of the mat, hips toward the back. Taking any movements here if you want to walk hands to either side of the mat. Three more breaths. Really reaching arms long. And when you're ready, we'll inhale up into a tabletop. And with the stomach engaged here, we'll go ahead and tuck the toes and find a downward facing dog. So while you're here in your downward dog, you might start to pedal the heels or anything else that's going to help you warm up here, the back body. And while we're here for a few breaths, just take a moment to notice how your body feels in this downward facing dog. Especially noting the back body. From here, we're going to get into the joints a little more on the inhale, coming down into the tabletop. On the exhale, sitting back into your child's pose, toes together, knees apart. We inhale up into tabletop. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Your breath, inhale, tabletop. Child's pose on the exhale. As we inhale into tabletop. Downward facing dog on the exhale. One more, we'll inhale into tabletop. Child's pose on the exhale. Inhale into tabletop. And we'll hold the downward facing dog. Take a breath. From here, we'll inhale up on the toes and we'll walk feet to hands for a forward fold, top of our mat. On an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we fold deeper. Bending knees as much as we need. Inhale, we straighten legs, touch legs somewhere. On the exhale, we bend the knees to touch the floor. One more just like that. We inhale, straighten legs. Lengthen back. Exhale, fold forward. And then we'll press into the floor to inhale, arms above the head, standing tall. Bringing hands to heart center for a mountain pose, here for our breath. From here, pressing into the floor, we'll inhale, arms up. This will be our half sun A. Fold forward on the exhale. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, fold. So still playing with this dynamic movement with breath. We inhale, arms up. Bring hands to heart center on the exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale, lengthen arms, reach. Exhale, we fold forward. Lengthen here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms above your head. And bring hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. A lengthen here. This time we'll fold and hold this forward fold. So you might grab a block here. We're going to leave the right hand on the floor. Right knee is bent. Inhaling, left arm up. If you have the space, you might take the right fingertips to the floor. As we breathe here into the left side leg. And exhale, we'll lower the left hand. Inhaling, right arm up. Maybe left hand on the block, left fingertips on the floor. You find what works for you. One more breath. And exhale, we'll lower the right hand. We'll find some length on our inhale. This time we'll palm the mat to step back to our plank, and you can finish here with a vinyasa or press to your downward facing dog. And taking a breath. So warming up here with 3 sun A's. We'll inhale up on the toes, walk, jump, or step to the top of the mat on your exhale. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, fold. As we press into floor, inhale, arms above your head. Heart center on the exhale. Right into it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold. Lengthen here. Palm the mat to find your plank. Finish here with a vinyasa or press to your downward facing dog. Inhaling up on the toes. Walk, jump, step, top of the mat. Lengthen. Fold. As we inhale, arms above head. Bring hands to heart center. Right into it. Sun A. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Lengthen. Find your plank. A vinyasa or a downward dog. A breath. Last one as we inhale high up on toes, walk, jump, step, top of the mat. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms above your head. As we bring hands to heart center, right into it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Lengthen here. To find your plank, we'll meet in a downward facing dog, your vinyasa here, or press directly back. So we check in here in the down dog. Make sure we have belly engaged. We're going to inhale the right leg up into a 3-point. Lengthen through heel, and when you're ready, we'll bend the knee. So knee is heading towards ceiling, heel to glute. We're finding space in the hip flexor and the quad of the right leg. From here, we're going to find a 3-point, inhaling right leg straight. Runner's lunge. Take your time, stepping right foot between the hands. If it takes a couple of steps, that's totally fine. And we'll breathe here. So from here, you might want to come up on the fingertips a little as we lift the breastbone toward the front here. Just finding some space through the chest to breathe. and lengthening the left quad and hip flexor. From here, we're going to lower the back knee, untuck back toes. This is a split prep, so you might want to grab your blocks. As we shift weight back here, left hip over the left knee, and then we'll extend right foot forward. There's always a micro bend here in the right knee, but we straighten as much as we can, and we sit our right hip back in a line. If you want more, you can always grab the top of the foot and pull back. As we breathe here into the back of the right leg, one more breath. So yogi ears here, we're going to shift the weight forward, bending the front knee. As we tuck the back toes, we're going to step our left ankle behind our right ankle so that our pinky toe is in line with pinky toe. Again, your hands might want to be on some blocks here. You might take them on the knees, or fingertips might be on the floor. Front knee is bent here, and the stretch, I probably don't have to tell you, is in the back leg. But if you're looking for more, you can walk the upper body to the right. Little deeper sciatic stretch, IT band. Whew, good stuff. From here, we'll bring body back to center, leaving feet twisted here. Engaging the core, we'll inhale, arms above the head. Grabbing the left wrist, it'll be a side stretch to the right. Good. From here, we'll inhale, arms back to center, unwind the feet, and we'll find our first chair of this practice, sitting back here, core engaged. Belly in, shoulders down, building some heat in the quads. From here, we'll inhale the legs straight, fold forward on the exhale, lengthen here. Finding the plank, we'll meet in a downward dog, however you want to get there, a vinyasa or a press back. And taking a breath or two in the downward dog. So checking in once again, making sure belly is engaged. We'll inhale, left leg up into a 3-point. Go ahead and bend the knee to open hip. Lengthening the left quad and hip flexor here. You might even feel a deeper stretch in the right leg, back of the right leg. When you're ready with a 3-point on an inhale, to your runner's lunge, we step left foot between the hands. As we lift the upper body here, you can always find blocks to help lift the chest. But we allow hips to sink a little here as we pull left hip back in a line. Inner thighs engaged to keep hips in a line, and my front knee tracking between second and third toe. Finding space here in the back quad and hip flexor. And then from here, we'll drop the back knee, untuck back toes, shift weight back. I'm going to use my blocks here. Right hip over the right knee as I lengthen out my left leg. Again, we keep a little bend in the left knee, but straighten as much as we can other than that. Flexing the left foot. Again, we can grab the top of the foot and pull back. And I'm currently saying good morning to my calf muscles. Woo. One more breath. We'll begin to shift weight forward here, back toes tuck. This is where we find our cross-legged forward fold. We're bringing right ankle behind left this time, pinky toe in line with pinky toe. My front knee is bent, hands on the floor, on my knees or on some blocks. But if you're looking for more and your hands are on the floor, walking upper body to the left this time. Good, feeling a stretch along the side of the right leg. Beautiful, good. We'll come back to center, engaging the core, feet are planted strong. We'll inhale, arms above the head. Grabbing right wrist, it's going to be a side stretch toward the left this time. Arms come to the left. Your hips might extend out to the right a little bit. And then we'll inhale, arms to center, unwinding feet, finding our second chair of this practice as we sit back here. So in a chair, you might have your big toes together. If that's not comfortable for you, you might separate feet a bit, really just depending on your hips, what's happening there. Shoulders into the sockets, shoulder blades down and back, belly in. On an inhale, we'll straighten the legs. Fold forward on our exhale. Lengthen here. Palming the mat to find your plank. And finishing here with your vinyasa or a downward facing dog. So if your blocks are not already there for this next segment sequence, you might want to go ahead and put them at the top of the mat on either side. Beautiful. From our downward dog, we have belly in. Starting on the right side, it's a 3-point on an inhale. We're going to find a cheetah on the exhale. Coming forward into the plank. As we press the floor away, we think a cat back here. So we're really rounding, maybe forehead to knee, a flex in the foot, a little more power there. Breathe. It'll be a 3-point on an inhale. Runner's lunge as we step our foot between our hands. And we're going to shift forward into a grounded warrior 3. And here's where blocks can be handy. So as we shift weight forward, we might take our hands on our blocks as we straighten both legs. Hello, right hamstring. We think about our left hip in line with the right. So sometimes it wants to hike up. We want to make sure that it's in a line and breathe. From here, we're going to lunge back. Left toes are coming back on the floor as our hands plant by our front foot. 3-point. We're going to step our foot between our hands once again. Back foot pivots down. It's a warrior 1 on the inhale. So looking at my front knee here, still tracking between second and third toe. I'm going to open up to warrior 2. So my knee stays exactly where it is. My arms open, my hips might open a little to the side. Extending through fingertips, front palm flips, find a reverse. Still nice and open in the front hip, front knee. One more breath. As I windmill down to a runner's lunge, stepping back to my plank, lowering down, finishing with a vinyasa or a downward facing dog. Feeling the difference between the sides here. When you're ready, belly in, left leg inhales up. We find a cheetah hanging out for a couple of breaths. So we go through the sequence a little slower the first time, so your body can get into these poses and feel them, making any adjustments you need. So powerful here in the cheetah. 3-point on an inhale. Runner's lunge on the exhale. And then slowly transitioning to your grounded warrior 3. So in a grounded, hands are down, either on our blocks or on the floor. We lengthen through crown of the head, through the back heel. Belly is strong. Saying hello to the back of the left leg this time. We'll lunge back here, planting hands. It's going to be a 3-point, left leg extending up. Runner's lunge here to your warrior 1. Back foot pivots down. We inhale up strong. The warrior 1 arms are extended up by your ears. I'm going to leave my front knee exactly where it is as I open up to a warrior 2. My arms extend out this time. Gaze can be down the front middle finger, nice and strong. If it's more comfortable somewhere else, then your gaze is somewhere else. That's beautiful. Front palm flips, reverse. Breathe. Yogi ears, we're going to windmill down to a runner's lunge and then step right foot to meet left. We're in a forward fold. It's a lengthen here. And exhale, fold. It's a chair on our inhale, hang out. Good, breathe. Next exhale, sink a little deeper in your chair. Inhale, we press into heels to straighten legs. Fold forward on the exhale, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Beautiful, very nice. So this is where I'll remind you that this is your practice. So you be where you want to be today with your body. We're going to work with the breath. We're going to inhale, right leg 3-point. Cheetah on the exhale. 3-point inhale. It's a runner's lunge to grounded warrior 3. Inhale the grounded warrior 3. As we exhale, lunge back. 3-point inhale. Runner's lunge as we inhale up for warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Reverse on the inhale. Yogi ears, this is a runner's lunge to forward fold. We step left foot to meet right. Lengthen through center. Exhale, fold. It's a chair on the inhale. Sink deeper, exhale. Inhale, legs straight. Fold forward. Lengthen here. Find your plank and we'll meet in a downward dog. And take a breath. Left leg inhales up. Cheetah, exhale. 3-point. Runner's lunge, exhale to inhale, grounded warrior 3. Exhale, lunge back, 3 points your inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge to inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Reverse on the inhale. It's a runner's lunge to a forward fold. Right foot meets left. Lengthen here. Fold. It's a chair on the inhale. Sink deeper, exhale. Straighten legs, inhale. Fold forward. A lengthen here. To find your plank, we'll meet in a downward dog. Take your time, work with your breath. One more time, right leg inhales up. Exhale, cheetah. 3-point. Runner's lunge, we inhale, grounded warrior 3. Exhale, lunge back, it's a 3-point inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge, your inhale is your warrior 1. Warrior 2, we inhale, reverse. Runner's lunge to forward fold. Left foot meets right. A lengthen inhale. Exhale, fold. It's a chair on your inhale. Sink deeper. Straighten legs, inhale. Fold forward. Lengthen here. Palm your mat to find your plank. We'll meet in a downward dog. Remembering vinyasas are always optional. Finishing here, left leg inhales up. Cheetah. 3-point. Runner's lunge to grounded warrior 3. Shift weight forward. Inhale. Exhale, lunge back. It's a 3-point this inhale. Runner's lunge. We inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Reverse. Windmill down to a runner's lunge. It's your forward fold. Lengthen here. Fold. It's a chair on the inhale. Sink deeper, exhale. Inhale, legs straight. Fold forward here. Lengthen. Palm the mat to find your plank. It's your vinyasa, a downward dog. You might take a couple of breaths here in a child's pose as we let this flow settle into the body. Contracting and extending the muscles, hopefully freeing some energy, letting energy flow freely here as breath and body settle. So if your blocks are not already at the top of your mat, this is another good place to go ahead and put them up there. We're going to start with our left side with the belly in, left leg inhales up. It's a runner's lunge on our exhale. Go ahead and find your blocks here. And we think about extending our breastbone again toward the front of the room. We're finding a lot of space in the chest as we open up the back quad and hip flexor. So as we get into splits, like I mentioned before, it's just as important to open the back leg, the hip flexor and the quad. From here, we're going to slowly start to straighten the front leg. So we're up on the back toes still. We straighten the front leg. We continue again to keep the micro bend in the front knee as we fold over the front leg. Sitting left hip back in line with right. And we're going to work with this dynamically. On an inhale, bend the front knee. Open the chest. On an exhale, sit back. So 2 more. We inhale, bend the front knee, lift chest. Exhale, sit this back. 1 more inhale, bend the front knee. We're going to exhale, sit this back, and hold. So here's your super fun time challenge. Keeping the front leg straight here. You can always bend, you can always drop the back knee. Those are options. But if you keep the front leg straight, extend arms to the front of the room. Hello, engagement of the legs, of the core. From here, we inhale, arms up, and we sink down into our crescent, bending front knee. Wherever we were, we meet in this crescent. Again, we can drop the back knee. We're going to interlace our fingers here, extending pointer finger toward the ceiling, and it's going to be a side stretch to the left. So the knee that's bent, that's the side that we're stretching over. This can help to elongate hip flexor in the right. Also opening the lat here on the right. 1 more breath. So we inhale, arms back up through center, hands come to prayer. It's a prayer twist. We're taking the right elbow outside of our right knee. So here you might drop the back knee, finding some more space in the twist. We're working our thumbs toward our heart center, maybe feeling that connection here. Back knee dropped or lifted. And I know the left outer leg is talking. 1 more breath here. With control, we find our crescent. Unwinding, arms come up. It's a runner's lunge to a 3-point. Hands down, then we extend left leg up, bending the knee to open the hip. If you know what a flip dog is and that's in your practice, you could head that way. I'm going to hang out right here, mainly because the wall's right there, but you find what works for you. We can always circle the hip here, finding some more space. Giving this left hip a little bit of a breather. So if you're flipped here, go ahead and unflip. We'll all meet in a 3-point. Left leg is extended. This is our last crescent on this side, I promise. Stepping foot between the hands. We're going to inhale, arms above the head. So in this crescent, we are focusing on opening the chest. So you might find goddess arms. I'm going to turn just so you can see. Goddess arms, or you might grab an elbow in each hand, or you might take hands in prayer, dropping behind the head, or hands can come to the sacrum and open. You find the best variation that's going to feel really good here. No matter where we are, we lift up and out of lower back. We might think about our rib cage heading toward the ceiling, finding space in the chest. One more breath. Beautiful. Hands are down here. We're going to shift weight forward to find a half moon. First, grounded warrior 3. Fingertips down, we extend, and then we start to rotate right hip on top of left. We might leave both hands down, or we might start to work our right hand to right hip, extending through crown of the head, maybe right fingertips extend toward the ceiling. If you have any other half moon variation, you could head that way. Breathe. A strong inhale here. As we exhale into a forward fold, hands down, feet side by side. Whew, might feel really good here to bend one knee at a time, sitting hips out. You can always grab an elbow in each hand and sway. Whew, something that just feels so good on the body. One more breath here in this forward fold. When you're ready, we'll come into a mountain pose by pressing into the feet. Inhale, arms above the head. And we'll bring hands down by our side. Good, taking a breath. We're going to work our way into our Wonder Woman pose from here. Take hands onto the hips as we open the chest. Nice and strong, right? Wonder Woman, beautiful. Go ahead and bend the knees here. We're coming into our eagle. I'll face the back so you can see. We're going to shift weight into our right foot. We're crossing left knee over top of right. Your toe might tap. This is for stability. Or your toe might wrap around the leg. Arms come out. It's left arm underneath of right and a bear hug. We're just giving ourselves a hug, or you might find eagle arms. Winding those arms as we sit. So you can find your full expression of eagle. We're here for a couple of breaths. Really nice focus, belly in. Feeling really grounded here in the right foot. We're slowly going to transition to stork. As we bring our left knee into the chest, arms will extend up. To help open our hip flexor, we'll come into dancer here. Right fingertips continue to extend towards ceiling as our left palm opens up. We grab the inside of the left ankle, squeezing knees together. You might stay right here. This is beautiful. You might find a wall to hold onto. That's nice. As we start to kick into the hand and reach. You find where you want to be today, your full expression of dancer today. Take it to an edge. It's our last balance pose on this side. Kick, reach, extend. And the hardest part I find is slowly releasing into the mountain pose. Give it a little shake. I call this the Taylor Swift it out. Shake it off. Just let it go. Whew. Beautiful. We're at the top of the mat. Inhaling, arms up. Fold forward. Lengthen here. Finding your plank, we'll meet in a downward dog. Feel free to take a vinyasa or press back directly to the downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here, knowing you can find any other pose to let this settle in. Breath and body settle. You might take just a moment to see how this downward dog feels if that's where you are. And when you're ready, we'll even out our sides. Right leg this time is in a 3-point. Runner's lunge, and we hang out in our runner's lunge. Taking hands on our blocks here to bring the floor up to us as we lift chest, looking forward nice and tall. We make sure that our inner thighs are engaged, making sure this front knee doesn't open out to the right. We want to keep it nice and aligned with the second and third toe. And then we'll slowly start to straighten the front leg. We'll hang out here for a couple of breaths. Forehead to knee maybe as we sit right hip back in line with left. Dynamically moving this, will inhale, the front knee bends as we lift the chest. As we exhale, sit this back. 2 more, inhale forward. And exhale back. Last one as we inhale, bending the front knee, lifting the chest. Exhale, sit back. We'll hold right here. So again, you might bend the front knee, even lowering the back knee if you want. If you want to play with our super fun time challenge, we engage the core, lifting hands toward the front of the room. From here, inhaling arms above the head, and then bending the front knee to find your crescent. Yay, beautiful. We'll interlace our fingers here, extending our pointer finger toward the ceiling. It's a side stretch toward the right. The knee that's bent, it's the side we're stretching over. Breathe. Opening up the back hip flexor here, one more breath. With control, inhale, arms back to center. Hands are in prayer. It's our prayer twist. We're taking our left elbow outside of our right knee. Again, we can lower the back knee. It gets us deeper into the twist. That is up to you. As we maybe work our thumbs to our heart center. Belly in, lengthen through the head. So our hands are an extension of our heart chakra. We might close the connection here by taking thumbs to the heart center. Take one more breath. With control, we come back to the crescent. Woo, runner's lunge here to a 3-point. We shift weight back. Yay, giving that right leg a little breather, bending the knee to open the hip. We might hang right here, or if you want to flip your dog, if that's in your practice, your shoulder says it's okay, we lower right foot to the floor. Knees and toes are facing the back of our room, so we press into the heels to lift. If you're in flip dog, breathe. Very nice. If you're in flip dog, we slowly make our way back to a 3-point. We are all in a 3-point now with right leg extended. It's a runner's lunge to the last crescent on this side as we inhale, arms above the head. And we find our heart opening arms. Goddess, grabbing an elbow, hands to prayer with prayer dropping behind or clasping at the sacrum. Wherever we are, shoulders are down, we still have a long neck as we think about bringing rib cage maybe toward our ceiling. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. It's a runner's lunge here to your half moon. Take your time. We'll first find that grounded warrior 3, shifting weight forward, both hands are down, both legs are extended. Then we'll start to stack left hip on top of right. Hands might stay down, or we might start to stack our left hand on top of our left hip, maybe toward the ceiling, knowing our right hand can be on block. Gaze here, wherever is comfortable. You want to keep a relaxed neck, but extend through head. Breathe. A strong inhale here, and then we'll lower to a forward fold on the exhale. Yay. Whatever forward fold feels good to you. To me right now, it feels good to grab an elbow in each hand and sway. Let it go. When you're ready, arms release. We lengthen on an inhale. Exhale, fold. We're coming up to standing on the inhale. This time coming right into the Wonder Woman pose as we bring hands to the hips and we open the chest nice and strong here. Chin lifts, feel very powerful, feel very strong because you are. Shoulders down. From here, we're transitioning into our eagle. So we'll bend both knees. This time we're crossing right knee over top of left. Toe taps or toe wraps as we sit. Arms extend. It's right arm underneath of left. Eagle, or you give yourself a big hug. A great pose for the joints here. As we wring them out, shoulders are down, elbows lift, hands pull away from the face, squeezing shoulder blades in as we sit. With control, coming into your stork, we unwind the arms, lifting right knee into chest. Finishing here with our dancer, left fingertips toward the ceiling, we open our right hand up as we grab the inside of right ankle, squeezing knees together. You might start to kick into the hand and reach from here, taking this to an edge. A really great pose to open hip flexor here of the back leg. Slow with control, releasing into your mountain pose. I think we deserve a victory pose here. Inhale, arms above the head, taking your hands in your peace sign. So we open the chest, fold forward on the exhale. We lengthen here, finding your plank. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Letting everything settle in. Our practice so far. And when you're ready, we're in our downward dog. Starting on the left side, left leg inhales up. It's the runner's lunge. This time we'll drop the back knee once again, untucking back toes. Hands might come on our blocks. They might be on the knees or they might extend overhead. We might let the hips sink a little more, opening up the back hip flexor here. Our option from here is to take the right hand on the inside of the left foot, maybe on a block, or we might find the prayer twist again by taking elbow on the outside and hands to prayer. You find the variation that works best for you here. I'm going to take my right hand on a block as I open up, keeping my left knee still tracking between second and third toe. We don't want to let it open up to the left. One more breath. From here, we're taking both hands on either side of the front foot, split prep. I'm going to continue to use my blocks here as I sit back. Extending left foot forward. Notice if this feels any different than it did at the beginning. Taking this movement dynamically, we're going to inhale and bend the front knee. We just did this standing. Then we're going to do it on the floor. Exhale, sit it back. 2 more. We inhale, bend the front knee. Exhale, sit it back. 1 more. Inhale, bend the front knee. We're going to sit back into the split prep. So here's our full variation. You can stay right here in split prep if you want to find a full pressing upper body up here with the hands and extending legs in opposite directions. So what's cool about this is you can take as much weight as you want with your hands on the blocks. Paying attention to the body, belly in. Good. You might pretend like your blocks are pom-poms. I wouldn't stop you. That's beautiful. 1 more breath. To release out of this, our core is engaged. Press into the hands, into the blocks as we bend the knees so that we can make our right knee underneath us. We go ahead and set the blocks out to the side a little bit so we can shift weight forward, tuck the toes. We're in a forward fold, top of the mat. Just noticing how this one feels. When you're ready, we'll find some length on the inhale, palming the mat to find your plank. We'll meet in a downward dog. Beautiful. Okay, getting ready for our peak pose on side 2. Right leg inhales up, runner's lunge, and then we lower the back knee, untucking back toes. Hands maybe on blocks, on the knee, or overhead. Breathe. Might feel the back left quad and hip flexor opening a little more here, preparing us for our split. When you're ready, it's coming into the twist. You might find prayer twist, left elbow outside of right knee, or you might take left hand on the inside. I'll once again find a block. Right arm extending up. Belly in. Doing our best not to dump into the shoulder if our hand is down. From here, taking hands on either side of our front foot, maybe using our blocks, we'll sit back into the split prep. Good. We'll take a few breaths here to get back into this pose. Again, maybe noticing how different it feels than from the beginning. And then we'll move with this dynamically. Inhale, bending the front knee. Exhale, we sit this back. Inhale, bending front knee. Exhale, sit this back. 1 more. Inhale, bend the front knee. This time we'll sit back and hold. So again, you might stay right here. This is great. It's playing with a split prep, or you might press into the hands and extend legs out into opposite directions. I was joking in class the other day, this is about the only time that you want your mat to be slippery, is when you want to extend legs out. So again, the arms, the upper body, taking as much weight as you want here. Steady breathing, make sure you're breathing. We definitely don't want to hold our breath here. And when you're ready, we'll press into the hands, bending the knees so that our left knee comes underneath us. Setting blocks to the side, we shift weight forward, back toes tuck. It's our last forward fold of this practice. Just noticing how it feels. Finding some length on our inhale. Palm your mat to find your plank. Your vinyasa or your downward facing dog from here. Once you're in your downward dog, 3 breaths. And when you're ready, we're coming into pigeon. We'll start once again with our left side, left leg, inhaling up. We're bringing left knee to left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. If you prefer a seated pigeon or on the back, head that way. If you're on the front here, we can use our blocks in a number of ways. We can take one block underneath the back hip, a little support there. A block underneath the breastbone always feels really nice to me. Maybe a block underneath the forehead. We're here for a couple of breaths. So another variation, since we have been opening the hip flexors a lot today, is to come up into a king pigeon. So in a king pigeon, we would press the upper body up here. So you want to make sure that you have a stable base here. And we'll begin to bend the back leg. So same hand reaches back for the ankle. This is about as deep as I can go in this pose. You've probably seen where people can bend their heel to their hip, and it's beautiful. Maybe left arm extends up and grabs back, reaching for the toes. Be where you are. Love it, enjoy it. Just make sure it feels good in your body. So 2 more breaths in your pigeon, whatever variation you're playing with today. And when you're ready, if you're down, we begin to press the upper body up here, tucking back toes, pressing back to the downward dog. If you're on your back or seated, just go ahead and switch sides. Once that leg is nice and stable, we'll extend the right leg up, finding pigeon on the right. Sides are different. You find the best variation on this side for you. Using props if you want. Wherever we end up, we breathe. Easy, stable, strong. If you want to press up into the king pigeon, we lift the upper body, bending the back knee, reaching back with the same hand. Maybe right arm extends up, reaches back for the toes. Find where you are. Breathe. If you ever find yourself holding your breath in a yoga class, just release a little bit. We always want to keep the breath easy so that the body can relax. It's our signal to the body that everything is okay, everything is safe. 2 more breaths wherever we are. And when you're ready, we'll release, pressing upper body up if we're down, tucking back toes, pressing to the downward facing dog. Any sort of release for the right hip if you want. And then we'll lower into a tabletop, crossing ankles to find a seat, making your way onto your back. Squeezing knees into the chest. Finding your happy baby from here, we'll reach hands on the inside of the knees, grabbing outside of feet. Pulling knees down and out. So your variation of happy baby, you can rock side to side. You can extend one leg at a time. You can always bring feet together. Breathe. From here, we'll bring knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Releasing arms out like a T, we'll let knees fall to the left. As we look over right shoulder, we can always cross knees here to find a deeper twist. Coming back to center, giving knees a squeeze. Taking arms out like a T. We'll allow knees to fall to the right. Again, we might cross the knees here. Left over top of right. Get a little deeper into the twist. Coming back to center. Giving knees a squeeze. Bringing knees into the heart center here. Forehead up to knees, squeezing into a ball. We're squeezing into our heart center here. So we can send some gratitude, some love to every cell in your body. This is our squeeze of self-love, of compassion, acceptance. And when you're ready, releasing here into your rest pose. Settling in. I will leave you be for 5 minutes and then you'll hear a gong to release out of your Shavasana and continue with your day. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. Enjoy your rest. Enjoy your Shavasana. Namaste.